Hey, what's up? It's DJ. Today we're taking a look at all of the pieces of equipment coming with the Highlands Fishing Expansion DLC. Now there's actually quite a few pieces of equipment in here, from seeders and planters. We've got spreaders, trailers, sprayers, a couple of them, harvesting equipment. Yes, we've got the Veritron 470 in here as well. We've got balers in here, and there's one other thing too, and it's found in potato technology. We'll talk about this one soon. So the first thing we're going to do is just talk about each piece of equipment. We're going to show you some customization options in the store and what each one's used for. Then later in the video, we're going to head out into the field and show how a couple things work. Most of it's self-explanatory, but there's a couple new things. We're just going to start at the very top and work our way down. So this is the Manure MS Electron. This is a 3x5 onion seed bed planter. This bad boy right here will take in a total of 27 liters of seed, because it's a vegetable planter at the end of the day. 140 horsepower required, 4.5 meter working width at 6 miles per hour. What this is going to do is it is going to seed onions. There are no other seeders, not only in the game, but in the DLC as well, that will seed onions. So if you want to put onions in the ground, this is the piece of equipment that you need. You can also not fertilize while you do it. So you can't take this monosem right here and then throw it on the front with fertilizer. You can't do it. Now, could you do it with seed? Yeah, I guess technically, even though it doesn't hook up, at least I haven't seen it hooking up. But again, if you want to put onions in the ground, you're gonna have to use this. Now we make our way down. We've got the Monosem Wingfold Volterra Ultimate. Probably didn't have to roll my R's right there. This is just a planter. At the end of the day, it's a 6-meter planter. That is it. You got some ridge markers on there, which are pretty cool, so that is awesome. And it will hold 1,910 liters, and that is going to be seed and solid fertilizer, both together. And again, you don't have to use the front unit. I guess you could if you wanted to, especially when this is holding way more fertilizer than seed. Even though Farming Simulator doesn't use more fertilizer than seed, real life does, but not here. Anyway, with those ridge markers on there, it's going to weigh 3.4 tons. I don't even know if the weight changes. Weight doesn't even change. So it's just going to unfold. It's a pretty cool piece of equipment. But again, at the end of the day, it's a planter, man. That's all it does. Now, finally, we get to use that front unit. This is the Monosem Volterra TFC2. This is also a planter, also 6-meter working width, and it will hold 840 liters. The cool thing is, you can fill that up with seed, and then you can add the fertilizer distro unit, which will hook up. You got 2 pipes in here, and they are ready to be hooked up to the front tank. So that is cool. So you can take that, and then you can fill this bad boy right here up with fertilizer, and now you're seeding and fertilizing and doing good. You can also just put seed in here and have extra seed, which may be what you want to do. And there's your 2 pipes right there, which will connect to the back. It's pretty cool. But again, you can use this front tank with the other stuff too. It just doesn't hook up. So it does the Farming Simulator magic. Now the next piece of equipment is pretty sweet, because it is a seeder and a planter. Oh yeah, it does both, baby. It is super duper cool. I love it. I love it so much. The Vaderstad Proceed V24 holds 22 liters. It is going to be seed only. And in the front, you can do seed or solid fertilizer, and you can run, again, extra seed, or you can run fertilizer in there, and you can fertilize at the same time, which is fantastic news. And it's got your hoses for hooking that up. 2,200 liters in this version, 300 horsepower, 6 meters at 10 miles an hour. You may notice a similarity right through here. A lot of 6-meter or 4.5 meter pieces of equipment. So everything is kind of divisible by 1.5 meters. I don't know why, it just kind of is what it is. But yeah, so there's that. You can also throw on some extra weight on the front of this if you would like. And the only reason that you might want to do that is because this piece is kind of heavy, 10.1 tons. So I would definitely use something a little bit bigger. It requires 300 horsepower. I'd probably go 350 to 400. Now we get into some stuff that's self-explanatory, some stuff that's not. And we'll start with the AgriSpread AS2100 SCS. This is a solid fertilizer or lime spreader. If you go with solid fertilizer, you're going to have choices up to 36 meters. And if you go with lime, I think it's going to be about 24 meters, if I'm not mistaken. Through here, we have a couple different wheel brands to choose from. So that is always very, very cool. And then we've got the wind boom. This is cool because it kicks out and it kind of prevents the wind from blowing things back. It'll just hit it and fall down. However, it only works with lime. And on top of that, you can spread lime without it. And you don't have to have it. And on top of that, it doesn't work with solid fertilizer. If you have solid fertilizer in there, it won't let you unfold it. And if it's unfolded and it goes from lime to solid fertilizer, the wings will fold back in on themselves automatically. So it forces you to not use them? I don't know. There's so many limitations on things that it's like, yeah, you wouldn't do that in real life. Yeah, but I want to do it in Farm Sim. That's why I play Farm Sim. Because it's cool. Anyway, moving on. We have a manure spreader right here, up to 24 meter spread. We've got UK and EU warning signs. And this is neat. We have a boundary spreading system. So if you go with this spreading system and you drop that down, it prevents the manure from spreading off to the right. So what you could do is it'll kind of drop it almost right outside the wheel well there. And that's where it stops. So you can actually go around the outside of your field without spreading manure all around. Super, super cool. Quite ingenious if you ask me. And then we've got every color of the rainbow, which I love as well. Look at that. You got the green, the budding green. We got a toothpaste tractor. We got a toothpaste tractor. And I don't, it's awesome. That's so cool. Oh, it holds 27,000 liters of manure. Probably didn't. You needed to know that, didn't you? Then we go over to a couple tippers. This is the one that's got a big extension, so 31,900 all the way down to 19,300. Again, a couple different wheel brands. The BKT standards look awesome, so we're just leaving those on there. We do have a trailer hitch. However, it's a pin hitch. This trailer has a ball hitch, and you can't hook up two of these. Now, I'm sure there's somebody in the UK that knows exactly why the hitch on the back of this bunning is different from the one on the front. So you're not going to be putting two of these trailers together. Is it for like running a trailer and a bell trailer behind it or something? It's got to be something. And DJ doesn't know what it is. But we do have colors nonetheless. We have another trailer. Don't get ahead of me. This one also has a ball hitch on the front. And then if you add a trailer hitch, it's a pin hitch there as well. You can't run them together. I don't know why, but it just is what it is. We have a Trelleborg, a Michelin, Vredestein, BKT, but BKTs are beautiful, so we'll leave those there. And then you can remove the cover if you want to. If you keep the cover on there, you're not getting any extra capacity, 26,700 regardless. And it also doesn't have the animated cover, at least the version that I've got, that was added with one of the first DLCs, where it would like roll really nicely. This one doesn't do that. At least for me, it doesn't. But again, it's a tipper. We're not going to show it off in the game. It's a trailer to put stuff in with a different word on the side than the other ones we have. So now we move down. We have one of our two sprayers from Damon. We actually had some other Damon stuff that's been added into the game as well over the past year. Well, at least one thing. It was added with the Nexat pack. This guy, this humongous sprayer, which congratulations to anybody who's going to be able to use the Nexat on this map. I would love to see it. If you got some screenshots, shoot them to me on Discord. Anyway, this sprayer will do liquid fertilizer and herbicide, 20,000 liter capacity. There's no horsepower rating, but I would definitely use something big on this. I have tried it with the new Holland T8000 with the big engine because it's, I guess, technically the most powerful engine that we've got in this pack, and it seemed to work okay. 42 meter spread at 7 miles per hour. And then we check out our other one. Now, this is technically a vehicle. We already did the vehicle video, but I wanted to include it here because technically it is a tool and you can't hook anything to it. So this has 24 up to 36 meter working with, and we've got 30 meters in between. You've also got multiple different wheel brands to choose from, and you've got standard, wide in there, and then a couple of them you've got narrows. Narrows is probably what you want, aka care wheels. Beacon lights, hey, you got one of those up at the front, and you got a 5,000, 6,000, or 7,000 liter tank in the back. You will be paying for that though, $5,000 or $10,000 extra It's a pretty expensive piece of kit already, just with the extra boom, with some narrow tires from BKT. Beacon light, sure, we'll add that up there. It went from $311,000 up to $346,250. But does anyone really care how much stuff costs in Farm Sim? You just got to do a little bit of extra work or take out a loan anyway, right? Anyway, that's why I don't go over prices. I don't think they really matter. It's just the stuff and having fun. So with this, 285 horsepower, 250 liters fuel, 31 mile an hour max speed. We talked about its 5, 6, or 7,000 liter capacity, 36 meter working width on this one, and that is at 15 miles per hour. Now, onion stuff. Yeah, baby! I'm super excited about the onion stuff. So this is what kind of cuts. This is kind of like our Highlands chopper, and well, supposedly it brings the onions out of the ground, but you'll have to use another piece as well. So this tool is used to cut the Highlands on the onions and drop them as a windrow behind the tool. Then we can use the Hull RSU R205, and this is an onion windrower, which picks up the windrow again, cleans the onions, and then drops them in the desired side of the tool. So I would definitely use both these at the same time. I don't think I've tried just harvesting and then picking them up, so maybe we'll give that a try as well. Hey, a little fact finding for you guys. There's really not a lot to this. 2.8 meter working width, 6 miles an hour, 125 horsepower required. Doesn't weigh a lot either, 2.7 tons. And you can add some lights up at the front. This would go on the rear of your tractor, 90 horsepower required, 2.8 meter working width at 6 miles an hour. Again, same as the front unit, and it weighs 1.7 tons. So just over 4 tons between the two. I've been using the JCB 4220 with this setup and testing, but I've also got the New Holland hooked up to it. Now, you need to harvest this stuff. You need basically, you're picking it up off the ground. So you're going to need this. Now, the Grammy Veritron that we've got right here, this is available not only in a potato form in this DLC, which is cool, but we've also got an onion setup here as well, which kind of changes things a bit. Capacities, though, do not change. They exactly stay the same. 460 horsepower, 600 liters of fuel, goes 18 miles an hour, and holds 9,600 liters of either potatoes or onions. Weighs 26 tons by itself. It is very expensive at $526,000 and harvests at 6 miles an hour. But on the inside, it's got some cameras, which is very cool. Now we'll pop out of here just for a second because I did mention that there was a potato harvester that will also work with onions now. And it is actually in the base game. You will need the DLC for it to accept onions, but it's this, the Ropa Kyler 2 RK22. Been trying to say this word since 2018. Called it the Keeler and Killer, and now I found out it's Kyler, which is not English for like a boar or pig, something. Anyway, select onions, changes up the front a little bit. It is kind of forgiving with the pickup width, but yeah, that's about it. It's also a silver edition. I don't know if we've had that before or not, but it kind of changes up the front to silver setup. I think it looks cool, so there's that. Then back down, we can round it out with a couple balers. So we have the Kloss Roland 520 RC. We basically have some updated versions of stuff that came with the Kloss DLC and FS19. We had a regular round baler there, as well as a round baler that would do wrapping. So that's what this one does. You've got 100 horsepower on here. You can make 125 centimeter round bales, and you can add in your round bale net. A couple different wheel brands to choose from, as we mentioned there. And then we've got the one that will wrap. This one, 125 centimeter only as well. This is the new version of the one. I can't remember if it was like a 400 or 500 series Roland that we got back in Farm Sim 19, but this is the newer one right here. You do have your round bell net and the wrap, as well as wheel brands. 10 mile an hour max speed, 125 horsepower, just like the old one. Now there's two more things in here that we haven't talked about yet, although I will be doing a dedicated video just for fish, so keep an eye out for that. Alrighty, so we've got a field of onions right here ready for harvest. We would show you the planter, but I mean, it's a planter. You put seeds in it and then you turn it on and lower it. It literally works like everything else. But I did want to show you very quickly how this stuff works, because it is a little bit tight in there. Now, the working width for this stuff is 2.8 to 2.7 meters. However, it will want to try and push you to a 3 meter working width. And I'll be honest with you, 3 meters is more than enough. I'll also mention it's extremely difficult to do the harvesting and dropping when you've got corners. So I would recommend maybe just have the worker plant these up and down and skip your end rows. You will thank me later. But just for funsies, let's check it out. I did want to check and see, can we actually do this without having to come back and windrow? So this is what's happening on our first set. So right here you can see we've got the Holland chopper in there, and then it's getting the onions out, it's taking them and dropping them in a windrow, and then we've got them dropped in the back. And that is how that works. At the end of the day, there's not a whole lot more to it than that. So that's going to be my test run later on to see how things really work out. Now we're going to do one, and I'm going to show you how this windrow on the back works. It's kind of neat. So let's turn on our help window here, and we can actually choose what kind of working width we want to run with this. So it's super duper cool. So up here at the top, we've got working modes in here. You've either got a left, right, or middle. And if we bring this back out and take a look and see exactly what this is going to be doing. So let's click it. Right now it's set to left. Then we go right, but it doesn't do anything. Now, in the middle, now that was a change right there. What it does is it kicks it off to the sides. Well, it doesn't kick it off the sides. It drops it straight down the middle. Do we need to use this? I don't know. So I'm going to prepare another row with this just to see. So at least you guys will be able to see this. So we'll go ahead and do this. I'm running GPS just because it's easy for me. So there you go. So yeah, there's that. Dropping it out. It definitely looks different-ish. I will also say the two together, the onions that are just there don't look as nice as the one that we're dropping, but the windrow looks different. I'll be interested to see what happens with that. Oh, and you'll also be able to see here, I am definitely going against the grain when it comes to harvesting. We have those 5 rows in beds of 3 for planting, and I am just demolishing that. We should be going along with it, but I'm not. Sorry, I guess. All right, so now we're gonna kick everything off to the right because I find that a whole lot easier to use. So we've got that, everything's popping up, and now we're kicking it off to the right. And this is gonna come in handy when we come back the other way. And you probably already see where I'm going with this. And yes, it works with fast farming. So this is what we are stuck with. We will go ahead and set that up, and we'll go ahead and turn on the front harvester. Now, it kicks everything, pulls it all together, and drops a big swath right there. Might be a little bit on the small side. We're doing okay, man. We're doing okay. It's actually a little bit wide pickup there. So I kind of thought maybe it would just drop it where it was, but I think it would be almost a little bit too difficult to do like that. This still, I mean, it's working fine. You're not going to get any more onions than this. This is literally at max volume. So there's that. This might be a little bit more difficult. But the good thing is, now when we come back, all we got to do is harvest 1 row instead of 2. Like those over there. I will be doing a full dedicated video on the onions, but this is just to kind of show you some of the pieces of equipment. I think they're super cool, and if you've watched this video and you've hung out here long enough, I think you should be rewarded with some neat stuff. So as we mentioned, 2 different ways to harvest. We're going to start with the easy one, which is going to be the Grimy Veritron right here. If I can get out of here. There we go. Oh yeah, you can also put tracks on this thing if you wanted to as well. I kind of like the wheels. However, the tracks drive just as good, maybe even better than the wheels do. And this was also nice because we have working cameras. Yeah. So there we go. Need to unfold it. 'Tis unfolding. There we go. And then when we turn everything on, it starts to move. Uh-oh. I think my camera's froze. Did my cameras freeze? Don't tell me my cameras froze. Nope, there we go. All right, we're back. All right, let's see if this works. Just the harvester at the front, no windrower behind it. No. Oh wait, I didn't drop it down. Well, that would do it, wouldn't it? Yeah, the cameras are a little bit freezy right now. Let's see, let's back it up all the way. There we go. Now let's see if the cameras will work. Yeah, I mean, they are. Let's see, let's turn them off and see if we can kind of get back to it. There we go. Oh, no, they froze again. Well, they were fine yesterday. I don't know what's going on, but do you have to windrow the onions? No! You can just send a harvester in and it'll do it all for you. Keep in mind though, the pickup's not very wide on this, so keep it straight, keep it in line. But again, it's a whole lot of fun to drive this machine in first person. I love it. Okay, the cameras are doing all right. It actually knows I'm driving through stuff. That's good, I guess. Oh yeah, I missed a row here. There we go, we'll hit this, drop it back down, turn it on, and creep. 3 miles an hour. Oh, no, wait, hang on, speed it up. I was about to say 6, right? Yeah, 6 it is. And our cameras quit working again. Gotta love it. Well, at least the fill level is good. And of course, everything's working just fine back there. And it's me, so of course we have to fast farm it. Your harvester head pickup thing will bounce. It's gonna bounce a lot if you fast farm. So be aware of, well, just be aware, I guess. Let's see, let's put her in first person, grab that, and then going through here, because we've got 2 rows right beside each other, this is going to be a very, very big and a very fast pickup. You pick it up a whole lot through here. Yay! Oh, and unlike some things, I don't know if this is Farming Simulator 25 or just some of this new equipment. However, it will stop when it knows how much is going to be in there. So for example, in here now we've got 9,590 liters, and it stopped before the hopper filled up because there was still some in here that needed to go through the machine. I don't do crops like this generally in Farming Simulator. It ain't my thing, man. Well, I've gone through and picked them all up. We didn't show you the other one. Anyway, we'll show you the other harvester later, but I mean, as you can see, it's line the pickup up and then go, and then you're good. So now let's take our spreader out into the field so I can show you how this thing works. So as I was mentioning with this, we've got the little wind divider here, which will prevent lime from kicking forward. So if we open this bad boy up, and we will fill it. We got some lime here, and we can spread it. I'm not quite sure what the spread is. 16 meters is the spread for the lime. And this is gonna be whether you decide to use that or not. As you can see, it doesn't really matter. If you've got it open, if you drop it down, it does nothing. It means nothing. It's cool, but it means nothing. So if we were to, I don't know, switch this over to solid fertilizer, look what happens. I did not do that. I know you can't see my controller, but I did not do that. And if I try and click this, folding is not allowed while the tool is filled. But it's just filled with this. You cannot use it with solid fertilizer. Limitations. I mean, it works just fine. Don't get me wrong. And there's a version without the bit in the back, which I would love to unfold, but it won't let me, as per usual. But it is what it is. Real quick, let's play a game called I'm Pretty Sure This Will Work. And we're gonna use it here with the JCB 2000. Hopefully we got enough power. We're not gonna turn anything on. But will it work with the front unit here? So it is made for one of these. And what it's made for is this piece right here. So you can see we've got our pipes. Yep, that's what those are. You can see we've got those. It works for it. It's supposed to work for it. All is good. Well, let's back up to this and see, do we get a connection? We do not. However, if you fill them both up with seed and or fertilizer, it will still work. And if we back up one more time to this piece, this can only be filled with seeds, but you can plant onions on 17 maps when both of these are full. Maybe not that much, but probably this whole map. Anyway, like I said, these are all seeders, or planters rather. That's what they do. There's no point in showing that. I did think this setup is just epic. So this Vaderstad seeder and planter is just an awesome setup, dude. I mean, you get this massive seed thing coming out the side. Wheat, barley, oats, canola, long grain rice, OSR, grass, peas, spinach, corn, sorghum, sunflowers, soybeans, sugar beets, cotton, and green beans. Yeah! Woo! Just to make things nice and tidy, let's go ahead and fill it all up. So let's fill up the rear with seeds. There we go. And we are going to take the front and we are going to fill that out with solid fertilizer. Now we got a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And we're going to go over here. We've got wheat set up, ready to go. Whenever we click this to unfold, first up, the front row units go down. And then the rear row units go down, just like so. Scoots together, and then you could drop everything down, boop, and the wheels go up too, so you better hold on tight. Crop can't be planted in August. Well, there's one way around that, isn't there? Game settings, seasonal growth, no thank you. And pull forward. There you go. Seeds and solid fertilizer going out roughly at the same rate, which I absolutely love. And there it is. Now, I don't know if this is direct drill or not. It doesn't say that it is, and I'll be honest, I wouldn't expect it to be. But I guess we could find out real quick. All we got to do is go in here and make that canola, and then, I don't know, dead? Yeah, dead works. Okay, this is a direct drill, and we had no idea because it is missing from the information. Well, I might end up having to use this now. I like a good direct drill. So now let's talk about the brand bunning. Really, the only thing we have to show off is this fertilizer spreader. This is pretty cool. So you got your UK and EU warnings, but we'll stick with the UK here. And then we have the boundary spreading system, which I'm definitely adding on there. Now, I could change the color, but we won't. We're just going to go fill it up with some manure. So here we go. Now, of course, with it being a manure spreader, we could do double application rate if you prefer. We also will go ahead and unfold that. That way we open up everything in the back and we could just kick it out. Man, oh man. What's our spread on this bad boy? 24 miles an hour. It's not too shabby at all. Now, when we want to get that little bit right there closed though, what we could do here is toggle work mode, and doing that drops down and basically cuts off that whole right hand side. You see just how much of a difference there is there. Now, I have tried this as well, and it doesn't really work with a worker like this, but you can easily go in and control that, which is kind of neat. I really like that. I really like that we've got the option to do that. You know, you're taking these tight turns right here. You don't have to do anything too wild and crazy. Bam. All is good with the world. All right, Leslie, let's have a little play around with some sprayers. Now, because we've got front and rear axle turning, and I want to say even the middle axle's doing some kind of steering, maybe? Maybe not. I don't know. It's hard to kind of follow that, especially with following the camera back and forth like this. But anyway, we'll jump in here. Let's see. We'll load them up with liquid fertilizer. We'll open it up. We've got a massive working width on here. Goodness gracious. 42 meters. Don't forget, there's 20,000 liters of fertilizer in here, which is just insane. But that's about it. I mean, it is a sprayer, but I did want to just show it to you, just to show you how big this thing was. You can really get away with a lot with this thing. And we got the self-propelled sprayer. Now, this one's pretty fun. We also have a camera in here too, and I think it is the front wheels. Yeah, it is the front wheels. So, let's see. We'll put that right there. Yep. That is it. Oh man, we even get to see the, oh, so cool. All right, because the wheels are so far under and back, well, it explains why you wouldn't be able to see it. The unfold is fast with this. This is the largest width that we've got on here, and it is quick. So we got 36 meters on here. We are set to go, dude. Great suspension as well, kind of moves around, which is good. Let's go ahead and set that there, turn it on, and we've got our spray. And the good thing is 15 mile per hour max speed, which is always a fantastic thing. You could raise and lower if you need to. We have toggleable steering, so you've got just front, or you could do front and rear for those really tight turns. And this thing will do a tight turn. Let me tell you what. And there it is. That is just about everything I can think of, I think, for this thing. There's not a whole lot to it, but it looks cool. I mean, it's our first Damon self-propelled sprayer in the game. So there it is. So there you go. We're kind of all over the place with that stuff. So we'll try and do what we can with some timestamps or something so you can see what you can see. But otherwise, that is it. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today, and thank you for watching. Got any questions, let me know. Otherwise, have a good day. We'll see you in the next one.